Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Hare and Forbes Machinery House, Pace Farm, Hero Hoists, and Martin's Panel Masters.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Classic Restos here in regional Victoria in Shepparton for the second time this year. And you'll see why I have returned right after this. It's thanks to Shannons. Ask about multi-policy discounts and sign up for the Shannons Club. Call 134646 for a quote and see more at shannons.com.au. And Hare and Forbes has the range. Buy online at machineryhouse.com.au. Having just returned from the United States of America, filming a special batch of episodes thanks to Shannons Insurance, Shepparton here in regional Victoria beckons my call once again to bring you one of Australia's best celebrations of the 1950s rock and roll lifestyle. Welcome to another Shepparton Shake-Out. The unstoppable Arthur Matz has done it again. Arthur has edged himself into the rockabilly event genres as putting on one of the finest celebrations. In this case for 2017, he hasn't put one event on, he's thrown a second one into the mix just to shake things up a little. The Shepparton Shake-Out is a brand new rockabilly event that celebrates a time of less commercial stresses, nicer values, and just a good old wind the clock back feel. The event is supported by the Greater Shepparton City Council and operated by Rockabilly King Productions. And of course, what comes along as a part of the rock and roll era, the roller skates, California Poppy, and the Bobby Socks? You guessed it, tons of classic cars. The 2017 Shepparton Shake-Out, the second one for this year. How you doing, Ray?
I'm good, Fletch. Yourself?
Good, mate. Good. Beautiful car, this.
Thank you.
It looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, the black, the two-door, the style, the curves, it's got the lot.
Yep. It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
We love it.
How long have you had it?
About 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. Now, 1938?
Yes, it is. Pontiac.
Yeah.
Businessman's Coupe.
Right. There's something about the Businessman's Coupe. I mean, they are a real cool-looking jigger, aren't they?
Yep, they are.
And it's interesting too when we look at the early General Motors styling as well. I mean, round through the back of the rear quarter. I mean, you can really see the FX hole in there, can't you?
You can see a lot of things when you start looking around. Yeah.
It's amazing too what the Americans did though. They styled one thing, but they kept on going with it. We produced a car for our local market here, but the extra embellishments and just the little extra things that the Americans added. Now in this case, we've got this beautiful chrome grille up front.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Art Deco, love it. It's the best.
And speaking of Art Deco, what about the dashboard? I mean, I love that classic look of the dash. It's very subtle, and you've got the darkness behind it just to enhance the shiny stuff.
Yep, beautiful. We just love the whole thing.
Well, now, Ray, how long have you had it, and what's it like as a car to drive?
It's lovely to drive, and that's why we built it as a cruiser. It's really comfortable. It's got air, it's got power steer, it's got four-wheel discs, it's got everything. It's really nice.
Isn't it nice to think that you can have a car of that age, yet you can build them so nice that they don't rattle the teeth out of your head. They do become nice cars to drive, and you've got all that class and style to go with it.
Yep, and you just jump in it, you can head into state, no worries. Perfect.
Tell us about engine and driveline. What have you done there?
Engine's a 327 small block, injected, turbo 700, Commodore rear, Jag front end. Yep. All good stuff.
327 injected. Now that's a combination I haven't heard of before.
Yeah, well, you got a 327, you got a tune port. What do you do?
Absolutely.
Put them together.
Well, Chevrolet have never made a bad V8. It doesn't matter how small you go, right through to the big block. They've always done a good engine, haven't they?
Yep, they have, and they just work.
Okay, the interior. The seats are inviting. The whole thing it's like a big invitation card, like come and sit on me, let's go somewhere kind of thing,
Yep. It's comfy. It's good.
Good on you, Ray. You're helping to keep the dream alive, mate, and supporting the Shepparton Shake-Out here for 2017, the second event for this year. And it's cars like yours on the paddock where we've got the beautiful fenders, we've got the running boards, we've got the chrome steel wheels, we've got the external headlights, an interior to die for. It really is an incredible car, mate. It's a credit to you, Ray.
Thanks, Fletch.
And from one custom rod to another. Hello, Michelle.
Hello, Fletch. How are you?
Great, you?
Very well, thank
That's
you.
good. You're dressed in theme, you look lovely.
Thank you. I feel part of the show.
You do.
Yeah, looking forward to the weekend.
Well, rocking along in a 1935 Ford, this is absolutely stunning. I think what I love about this is it's a 35. I mean, there's a lot of emphasis on the 32s, the 34s, and then you guys have just slipped under the radar and brought in a 35.
Right, my husband's decision 5 years ago. We got it from the States, immaculate condition. Since then, a few hiccups, new motor, a few other parts my husband wanted to add to it.
Yep.
But no, it cruises really well, and I'm really proud to be sitting in it.
Isn't that lovely? See, there's no limit to your imagination either. I mean, you can keep on going with these things, but this is in the tasteful department. There's nothing with your car that's overdone. We look at the engine bay there. You've got a sensational flathead there. It's a Mercury V8. It's a stroker, and you've got to love those 3 Strongbird carbs across the top.
And the green lights in the evening. It's actually got green lights in the motor.
Has it really?
Yes,
Now,
it puts the green lights on.
Now, Michelle, speaking of the green, what's the go with the military colour?
It's just, it came that way, stock, and Eddie loved it, didn't want to change the paint job. We haven't needed to. It's 82 years old, and it's the custom paint that it came with. So it's got a couple of bubbles in it, but can't really see them.
Now, the actual restoration, how long ago was it done, do you know, Michelle?
Around 3 years ago, we blew the motor, so Eddie put a new motor in, and he's just been doing little bits and pieces ever since, just tiny things. We need new upholstery, which will come down the track. Otherwise, all good.
Again, it's one of those things, you see a tear in the seat, but it's okay because
It's unique.
it's a unique, natural tear in the seat. You
That's
know, I mean,
right.
I'd rather see it like that than some really crappy job of a patch-up.
That's right. That's right. And we sometimes cover it with our Mexican blanket. When I say to Eddie, "Oh, cover it with the Mexican blanket." Might not do very well in a show if there's a rip.
Speaking of Eddie, he mentioned before we started filming that the engine that was in the car that actually blew was like 80 years old when it, unfortunately threw her right out the side.
That's right.
80 years of engine before she let go.
That's right. That's right. A lot of miles, and it's been really good.
Michelle, love the 35. These cars, they just came with so much opulence and class, didn't they?
They do, and I feel classy when I'm sitting in it.
That's right. No, driving a classic car and making you feel good, that's what it's all about.
It does.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks, Fletch.
That's right. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day here, actually the whole weekend, at the 2017 Shepparton Shake-Out.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, Fletch.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird,
Oh, that's mine.
the Combi for when we want to get away, the XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
Hare & Forbes Machinery House has been family owned and operated for over 85 years, and it's easy to see why. And with a range like this, you cannot go wrong. Planning on welding? Look at these welding tables and clamps. Air compressors and different air tools. Sandblasting cabinets, through to spray guns. Everyone is welcome at Machinery House, and they're also open Saturday mornings. Their range of machine tools are workshop tested. There are competitive freight rates around Australia, and you can buy online at machineryhouse.com.au. So remember, Hare & Forbes has the range. Time for Bevan now. How you doing?
Good, Fletch, thanks.
That's the way, mate. Talk about original. Wow, when I look around the paddock here, this would have to go down as one of the most original cars here. A 1953 Town and Country wagon, right?
Correct, yes. Yeah. New Yorker, yes.
So it's a... Check all the names on these cars. Chrysler, New Yorker, Town and Country wagon. I mean, they didn't give it enough names.
No, it was about a mile long.
It's amazing hanging around as many cars as you do through doing classic restos. You're never going to get them all. There are so many names, so many models, so many years.
Yeah.
You'd almost need an encyclopedia with you to keep up with everything.
Very much so, yeah.
Bevan, aren't wagons cool?
I I've got a bit of affliction for long roofs, so I really like them. Yeah.
Even to the point, early days too, of drag racing too, because of the weight transfer, a bit more weight over the rear.
Yeah.
They used to work with the quarter mile stuff as well. It's never had a restoration that I can see. Bone stock original, even complete with your bullet hole in the passenger door. Did you do that, Bev?
No. That was pre my delivery. Yeah.
Okay, now to move this big puppy along, what have we got lurking under the hood?
331 Hemi.
So early Hemi.
Early Hemi, yes, with a automated manual transmission in it. Yeah.
Anything done to the Hemi that you know of?
12 volt. That's it. It's only 12 volt. That's it.
So taking it from a 6 volt to a 12 volt.
Yeah.
In other words, nothing's done to the engine. How does it still run? I mean, does it run well?
It runs sweet. Yeah. Runs like a clock.
See, we're in an era here with a car that's over 60 years of age. I mean, you would think that nothing would work really well, but to have an original car, it goes back to the quality and the testament for the product, how good these things must have been built so long ago.
Oh, yeah. It hasn't done enormous amount of miles, but age does knock them around, but it seems to be all right. It surprises me sometimes, yeah.
The thing is too, Bev, being a station wagon as well, there was less wagons around because of that reason, because they were used for those reasons, whether they were loaded up with families, they were knocked about, the occasional tradesperson may have used a wagon for work. So I guess, like you say, this has had a fairly easy life to look like this now.
Yeah, they were, well, I've got an original sales brochure for the car, and they were targeted at a bit of a high-end market for families, and also you could chuck, your hay in the back and all that sort of stuff. So it was a dual-purpose thing, and it wasn't a cheap car. It was a very expensive car in the day.
Good on you, Bev.
Yeah.
It's been
thanks, Fletch.
That's
Cheers.
all right, mate. Thanks for turning up here today. Yeah. And with this particular car, it's not a classic resto, it's a classic original, mate. Well done.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Encroaching upon the rock and roll era, 1960, a big year, and it was for Cadillac as well. How you doing, Andrew?
Good, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Mate, good. This paint job here, absolutely outstanding, popping in the sun like you would not believe. What a beautiful car. What can you tell us about this?
I've had it for about 4 years now. Bought it from a young guy in Queensland there, and always wanted one, so finally got one, yeah.
I love a 1960. I mean, a 1959 was just incredible in their own right, but so, well, I guess you'd say overdone in so many respects. I mean, let's put an extra big front on it. Let's put extra huge fins on it. 1960 was nice because they tamed it down a little bit, didn't they?
Yeah, I think just everything flows, mate, from the roof to the fins. And
Andrew, in my opinion, there's no doubt about it. The 1960 Cadillac is a very, very cool car. Now, we know it's had some mods, but before we go any further, what's the colour, the name of the paint?
It's the new Vibrant range in PPG. It's cherry bomb, mate. So yeah. Which it just pops in the sun, which is beautiful.
Mate, if that's not inspiration to paint your classic red, nothing will be. I mean, you're a moving billboard, all 20 feet long of it.
Yeah, that's right, mate. Yeah.
Drives nice as a car, handling wise.
Yeah, it's beautiful, mate. We come from Lakes Entrance, so it just coming over Mount Hotham, it drives beautiful.
The 1960 Cadillac, Andrew, no matter what angle you look at it from, it looks sensational. It's long, it's wide, it's sleek, just a groovy car.
Yeah, it is, mate. It's it turns a lot of heads, which is sort of you can't go anywhere without someone wanting to jump in it or take photos. So, yeah. What
about yourself personally, Andrew? How far back do you go with Cadillacs, or is this your first one?
Oh, since I was about I suppose 7, I've got pictures of standing next to 59s because I always told my dad I want a 59 Caddy. So, but then about 4 years ago, I bit the bullet and bought a 60. So, yeah.
Back then, he probably said, "Well, you better get yourself a good job" or something like that.
Yeah, well, he sent me to work when I was 12 to pay for it. So.
And speaking of which, so you've got your young son here, you've got your wife here with you, a family affair here today, which is awesome to see.
Yeah, it is, mate. It's good, yeah.
All right, let you get back around, Andrew. Thanks for showing off your 1960 Cadillac, mate. Whew. Hey, when it comes to a 60 Cadillac, it's doesn't come much better than this. Thanks, mate.
Good on you, mate. Thank you.
How cool is the Shepparton Shake-Out? It's not just a car show. It's everything else that encapsulates the rock and roll era. It's also your chance to get yourself up on the dance floor and strut some of your stuff. Time for Russ now with an absolutely delightful 1961 Vet. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good, thanks, Fletch.
That's good, mate. Nice in the paddock, this one?
Yeah, beautiful. There's a lot of good, nice cars here, but yeah, good.
Now, you're a local guy to Shep, right?
Yeah, I am, yep.
I wouldn't imagine there'd be too many cars like this getting around this town.
No, there's not. It's the only one that I know of.
How long have you had it, Russ?
I've had it a bit over 3 years now. I imported it out from the States. Looked around for a long time before I found the right one that I wanted, and went ahead and got it.
Good on you, mate. And obviously, too, being a Corvette, all fiberglass bodies, they always have been, haven't they?
Yeah, since 1953 when the first one came out, they've always been a fiberglass composite type vehicle, yeah.
The particularly the early Vets too, their rounded lines of their interiors, they've really got no competition when it comes to other interiors. They're quite unique. They're individuals, aren't they?
They are very unique. I don't think there was anything on the market at the time that sort of competed with them, so very unique.
Okay, Russ, as a car, what are your thoughts there? How does it drive?
It drives nice now. I've replaced the cross-ply tyres with radials. I've rebuilt the front end. For an old car, a 61 model car, it drives nice.
Okay, Russ, up here at the pointy end of business, mate, give us the rundown.
Right, she's a standard 283. In standard form, they were 230 horsepower. This one's got a little bit of work done to it, so it's probably up around the 250, 260 horsepower. Made it up to a 4-speed Muncie gearbox and a posi rear end, so yeah, it's a nice combination.
When you're talking horsepower around 250 and a fiberglass body, you can really appreciate how these things must get up and dance.
Yeah, look, compared to horsepower or kilowatt outputs these days, it's not huge, but given the weight of the car and the size of it, it goes along quite nicely.
Russ, been a pleasure talking to you, mate. What do we say? Well, there's no more words on that car, mate. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yep, I think so too.
Yeah. Good on you, Russ.
All right, thanks, Fletch.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
My passion for cars began when Nana and Pop bought their new Toyota Crown. It was Nana's, really. She loved that car. We went everywhere in it. My passion now is just the same, even though my cars are a little different. I've still got Nana's car, couldn't part with it. And I reckon if she was here today, she'd be insured with Shannons too.
Call Shannons on 13 46 46. Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts.
If you have a restoration project, Hare and Forbes has the tools that you need. Look at these restoration products: shrinker stretchers, dollies, mallets, bead rollers, profile gauges, professional panel restoration kits, and so much more. Now I warn you, enter at your own risk because you will end up buying something. So come along to your Cap City store or browse and buy online at machineryhouse.com.au because Hare and Forbes has the range.
It's a mammoth task to put on one major event a year, but when you do two, welcome to today's show. Well, it's your own show. How are you, Arthur?
Fletch, I'm buzzing, seriously buzzing. And again, it's just so overwhelming. I know I could probably keep using that in all our interviews, but it's just so overwhelming that we're here in Shepparton. It's the second one, Melbourne Cup weekend, great weekend. We've got campers here, camping on site. There's on-site parking. Just so many people. We had that drive-in last night. What a success. The screen was huge. The cars, the locals loved it. But it's overwhelming that people come from all around Australia to the shows that I put on. You know, it's wonderful.
Arthur, you've got some good runs on the board, obviously, starting a long time ago with Camperdown Cruise and Ballarat Beat. When you start an event, as you have mentioned, I mean, it takes time for them to get legs and evolve. The second one for this year, starting from scratch, it is a brand new event, and it looks like it is taking shape for you.
Last night, this oval was full. Its capacity, the car park was full, and we never had that in February. It was, again, amazing to see, and people are just going home and then my Facebook messages were just flooded with people saying, oh my God, is this coming back next year, please?
Yeah. I think people are getting the message, Arthur, and the fact is that you're not going to go away.
No, look, I love this, you know. I love this, I really do. You know, this town, Shepparton, has got so much potential for these events. They have a lot of events here at the showground. The combination here, it's people used to fly to come to the one in Camperdown I used to, but they drive from Sydney. It's only 7 hours for them, so it's really convenient for a lot of people. Adelaide, it's just convenient.
And myself personally, I'm very pro on the regional shows. It's not all about the cap cities in Australia. Some of the stuff that you find in, well, with due respect, the bush. Yep. Some of the best events you'll find anywhere.
It's amazing. And again, you look at this showground, you think it's not a small community, this is a very large community. It's a brilliant community.
It's a city of Shepparton.
It's a city of Shepparton. And you would think a showground in the country-ish, but this showground is amazing. Yeah. It's stunning. Yeah. The grass, the buildings, the amenities, everything about it.
Well, what's great too about a city or in a regional area like this is that it extracts the people out of all the smaller places, whether they're 1 or 150, 200 k's away, and people, they come out of the woodwork, don't they?
My word, they do. They really do, Fletch. The people that have come from all around again, and a lot of the good community clubs in the area, rock and roll clubs, we've given them a good discount as well to encourage them to come along in their club jackets. So we want that sort of look of, a club from Shepparton rock and rollers here and the Echuca rock and rollers there. So you can see their numbers in colours. It's really wonderful. And they're all, you can see them waving to each other and catching up with, old friends.
Now, putting an event on like this, I mean, it takes a lot of cooperation as well at local level. Now, Shepparton Council, been very good this year.
Amazing council. Very, very active council. It shows just in this ground how amazing this ground is and how they keep it. And our supporters that come to this and the volunteers we have, Sharon, John, Gary, Hutch, Brendan, it's just local groups as well, they're just amazing people, and their friends that they bring in together to help as well. Brilliant. And the bands we've had this year, Deke Dickerson from the USA, Marty Brom from the USA, and all the best artists from around Australia.
Arthur Matz, always a pleasure, mate, and I'll look forward to seeing you back here in 18.
Don't forget to send me the link so I can Facebook it everywhere, buddy. Thank you so much.
The Shannons Club, it's there. And
Thanks, Shannons, for looking after this guy.
Make sure you remember the Shannons Club. Pick up the phone, 134646 for a quote and a chat. Thanks, Arthur.
Cheers.
A huge part of the Shepparton Shake-Out is, of course, the private market stalls. Now, if you've got bits and pieces of memorabilia that you would like to sell to enthusiasts, why not get in touch with Arthur for your place here on the grounds in 2018 for the Shepparton Shake-Out. Moving on to a small truck department. How you doing, Ray?
Good, mate. Good. Yeah, good.
You having fun?
Yeah, it's always fun here.
Yeah.
Second year we went up. Yeah.
When cars turn up on the paddock, or light trucks in this case with your 48 here, Ray, what a stunning piece of machinery.
Thanks, mate.
You told me it was a hack.
It is. It's a driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't it look like a driver?
It does, but it's a nice driver.
Yeah, well...
What's the go with Rusty on the door?
Well, that's my surname, Rust.
Is that how it was when you found the poor girl?
No. It was pretty tidy when I found the old girl, actually.
Sometimes you can just tell after a full restoration that they were good to start with. I don't know, there's something about the way they look.
I bought this one out of San Francisco, and it presented pretty much like it does behind me now.
Yeah, well, the hardest thing on cars in San Francisco is automatic transmissions, clutches and brakes.
Yeah, I know. At the moment.
Those 45-degree streets, my goodness.
Yeah, but...
wow.
We did a full rebuild on this last year. We pulled the Buick motor out and went for a Work 350 and we did the cam and did the whole shooting match. Fresh body paint and straightened out a few wrinkles.
Now, Ray, tell us what you've done with the suspension.
Camaro front clip. And it's running 4-corner air ride.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
It looks nice, the steel wheels against the red. What's the colour of the red, by the way?
Rusty red.
Yeah, rusty. Everything's got to do with rusty.
Yeah.
It's like as though it's your truck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I might as well get mileage out of that name.
Engine specs up front, what have you done there?
It's a 4-bolt main 350, alloy heads, roller rockers, got a nice thumper cam in there.
Yep.
Set of block huggers into 2.5-inch pipes. Yeah.
Good on you, mate. You know the combo.
Yeah, we put it together. It's got a 350 behind it.
Yep.
Just a nice little driver.
All right, Ray. You better get around this event and enjoy it. Go and get yourself something to eat or something.
Pleasure,
mate, thanks for bringing in the 48. Sensational
Thanks,
truck. Thank you very much.
Good to chat to you.
You too, buddy.
Thanks, bud.
Thanks, mate. Well, there you go. Just some of the incredible 2017 Shepparton Shake-Out, and it's a big thanks to Arthur Matz for getting this event together, working in conjunction with the Greater Shepparton Shepparton City Council. Make sure this event is on your calendar for 2018. Check social media pages for more information. As I say at the end of every episode of Classic Restos, no matter where you're watching from. Until next week, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, and I thank you very much for watching. You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/ClassicRestosTV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au.
Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Hare and Forbes Machinery House, Pace Farm, Hero Hoists, and Martin's Panel Masters.